The next we're going to look at theories of teaching and learning. Maintaining equilibrium. This is Piaget's theories at work. How do the principles of adaptation, that's the process of adjusting schemes and experiences to each other to maintain equilibrium. Accommodation, a form of adaptation which individuals modify an existing scheme and create a new one in response to experience. And assimilation, a form of adaptation during which individuals incorporate an experience in the environment into an existing scheme. Affect how you teach. Maybe we just deal with them one at a time. First of all, it's adaptation, of course. Principles of adaptation.
Actually, I could probably summarize what I do in relation to Piaget's theories.
Yeah.
Generally, when I program for a course, I look at these kind of things in Piaget's theories, and I always start off with building the background of a new topic first, and I guess you could say that's looking at the experiences that students already have and the knowledge they already have, and then connecting those to new themes or concepts that we're learning, and then further developing on those new themes or concepts by getting the students to use them. So in that way, I think it's very effective. Yeah.
Do you find that the theories actually help you in your everyday classes?
I do actually, and it's interesting because I haven't looked at the theories written down like that for a long time, but it's amazing how subconsciously I do, and there have been times when I have inadvertently tried to spring a completely new topic on students and the classes failed dismally, and I've realised that's because I haven't built up on language, experience, knowledge before I've gone into it, or even explain to the students the relevance of what we're learning in that lesson.
Okay. Well, that's good. How does understanding how students process new data make you a more effective teacher? Do you understand it?
Yeah, I think it does, definitely. Because if you understand this kind of process and you use it in your teaching, then the students are going to be able to pick up what you're teaching a lot more easily, and then your lessons will run a lot more smoothly.
And then we all like that, right?
Yes.
Now, next is, how do you use this understanding to create better outcomes for your students? I think that you might have explained this in the creation of the curriculum or creation of classes. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do scaffolding and the role of the zone of proximal development work in today's classroom? You mentioned scaffolding before.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think that in my classroom anyway, because I'm working with ESL students, as I mentioned before, I use scaffolding a lot. And I guess it's related to Piaget's theory as well, because it's building on their the knowledge and experiences that the students already have.
Do you directly involve yourself in this scaffolding, or do you use other resources or other students to do this?
Usually, or for the most part, I involve myself in scaffolding for the students. On occasion, I'll break the students into pairs, and they might assist each other.
Okay. What theories help the most in the classroom of students with a range of abilities? I mean, obviously they're not all within the same zone of proximal development. But what kind of theories help the most in this kind of classroom? I know that there are usually a range of different abilities in a single classroom. So how do you deal with this?
It's difficult, but I think yes. Well, I think all of my classes have students with a range of abilities, and the way that I tackle this is, yes, scaffolding helps, I think, to some degree, teacher scaffolding, but group work can also assist in this, and giving students particular roles in groups as well.
What you were talking about, separating each of the groups at different levels?
I don't do that so much. I prefer mixing the groups with the different abilities, and perhaps giving the more capable students more responsibility.
So they'll have a leadership role in the group.
And sharing their knowledge and teaching the students can also, the other students can help them to cement what they know.
Okay. So it helps both ways.
Yeah. But in saying that though, I do sometimes, depending on where we are in a task or something like that, do separate students, not so much on abilities, but how they're understanding a particular concept at the time, for example. So they wouldn't always be the same groups of abilities because, for example, with essay writing, students struggling with essay writing might be fabulous in oral presentation. So depending on what we're studying at the time and what
so
we're
it's
doing.
more subjective to do with what they're studying.
Yeah.
Okay.